it helped to make the point to my audiences to try to find new ways of producing, of reducing production, of using biocottons, of using vegetable dyes and things like that. Sometimes we need to have very strong images to change behavior, and so this is what I did in this case. Now, coming back to the idea of what I found to be, or think, or sort of divine to be maybe what could happen to photography. It was really when I saw this girl with her little robot on her key hanger, and she positioned it on a waste box in Schiphol airport, and sort of started to make a beautiful picture of it. And I suddenly understood that the moment where we are also amazed about narration and animation and the cute and sort of illustration of things, which has been so strong in culture, including photography, possibly that moment is over. And that we are possibly entering a moment of greater stillness and reflection and more depth, and therefore more abstract. So my idea would be to think of the future, part of the future of photography, to be still documenting, but also when we speak more of the art photography, to think about a more abstract approach. So I asked my company, my researchers, to come up with some pictures. It's done very randomly, very quickly. It has no reason to be other than just to talk to you today. So don't take every image for what it is, or the photographer, what you know about them. It's just a sort of some words I would like to share with you. So the first, I think, major topic we want to continue to engage in is light. The quality of light, the essence of light, the aura of light. So light in itself, I think, is a subject. I think also that composition will become something very key in the near future of photography, as will be perspective. However, I think that the perspective will not be very deep, because we're in a very troubled time. So normally in troubled times, the perceptive becomes like a Japanese print, sort of layered one on top of the other. It's only when we get into better times that it opens up and it becomes more spacious. Human emotion, I think, will continuously be very important, as well the joy as the pain. But there again, I think that maybe photography with restraint, or being able to single out an expression, or to enhance maybe the essence of the picture, could become more important. I believe that texture, as in abstract art, that textural photography will be very important. The tactility is a given of today. That is why there are so many pop-up events and things which wants to become 3D. And I believe that the more we have screens in our life, every year one more, the more our fingers wants to touch, and our eye wants to touch, and our throat wants to be touched. So the tactility, the expression of matter is very important. I think that silly mise-en-scène is going to be continuously very, very cool. We need to have joy and sort of unpretentious ideas. Possibly all sorts of programs will be devised to make historical photos, to make Polaroids and all sorts of things from the past, which are just generated by your computer. Definitely, I think movement is also going to be a subject matter, as is the everyday. I think the beauty of this, the stillness of the everyday, but not anymore seedy like it used to be, or glamorous as it was before, just more exactly what is. The same in this picture of Richter. This idea that it's a pretty straightforward vision of an object, not judging anymore, becoming more neutral. I think portraiture will continue, but maybe take on also a more abstract aspect in the way it is used. Possibly also decay and all sorts of stains and irregularities will become very important, I think, in the visual landscape. We will see the merging, of course, of different disciplines continuously. We will see composition, I think, becoming very important. We will see new forms of collage, which are almost sort of close to surrealism, I would think. And color will be a very dominant subject in itself. But again, a more maybe graphic or abstract subject. Foamy, foam-like texture. Again, this idea of taking the texture and bringing it into another realm, so it gives us another emotion. Relationships, I think, will be very important in the way we register society, because we are now leaving the age of the individual to commence the age of togetherness, and therefore I think that the relationship is going to be a key factor and will play its role. Archiving will continuously, I think, also be important. Used also in art and photography. It's something of our day and age. It will not be, I think, anymore so much a discipline in itself as we have seen in the mapping period. I think it becomes more part of a new way of looking at the former image. Spirituality of everyday, I think, is going to be also a very important idea of the future. We are all bereft of some form of spiritual life and looking for it. Religion is no longer is a very difficult option. So a form of a more neutral or aesthetic form of spiritualism, I think, is going to be. That is why light and air and clearness and the less darker pictures, more lighter pictures, I think, will become to the forefront. Yesterday I got an email asking me to make a magazine about the Quran, and a photographic magazine, and I think it's very interesting to think of holy scripts and books like that, and to illustrate them in a very abstract, more emotional way, to make the reading of Bibles and Qurans and all these kinds of books into something very different. Then the architecture of, or the idea of growing materials, the biotechnology, which is becoming important in all domains of creativity. Detailed portraiture. Almost also the animalistic aspect in humans, and maybe leading us to animism at one point. And then my last picture is this. It's an ordinary advertisement picture, but I'm fascinated by this picture because when I look at it, I think, what if the image, the projected image, the moving image, in the sense of moving me, could become my universe? What if we, as consumers, come to a point where the image culture is becoming so strong that we can have image only? So I can project a chair, but I don't have to buy the chair. I can project the dress, but I don't have to buy the dress. I can project the boots, but I don't have to own the boots. And so there would be possibly a sort of solution for the future in which we would become virtual consumers, where the image would already sort of help us So to take away the urge to possess. And we spoke with in a forum in Berlin about the future of cinema, with people from the Film Week of Berlin and architects and so on. And it suddenly dawned on me that, for instance, the future of cinema is the house of the moving image, in which everything is image, everywhere is image, everything is image which in one way moves, not always moving like film, but sort of moving and very much moving image. And then I found this picture and I thought, this is what I could expect, is that I'm going to live in a culture in which the image becomes it all. Thank you.